swinging in, and it is a fair ball, and Wayzata wins it. Champlin Park back to state for the third straight year.
Hello and welcome to Sports Jam. I'm Jay Wilcox.
And I'm John Jacobson. This week, a look ahead to the girls' hockey playoffs. We'll meet a valuable player on and off the court for the Wayzata girls basketball team in our Sports Jam Spotlight. And I'll talk with a Maple Grove 3 sports star who is going to play Big Ten football.
Up first, a long-awaited matchup in girls basketball. Hopkins and Wayzata have been number 1 and number 2 in the Class 4A rankings pretty much all season, and they were each undefeated coming into their contest Friday. This one before a big crowd at Hopkins. Wayzata freshman Mara Braun is hot early as she nails a 3 for the Trojans. The cross-court pass to Mimi Schrader, and she hits from long range as Wayzata opens a 16-4 lead. But Hopkins goes on a run. KK Adams with a quick catch-and-shoot 3 puts the Royals up by 2. And then Paige Beckers rises up and hits the jumper as the first half ends. The Royals are up 33-32 at the break. It's back and forth in the second half. Jasmine Smiley hits a 3 here for Wayzata. Then Jenna Johnson gets position inside and scores. The Trojans take a 4-point lead. But Beckers is huge down the stretch. A 3-pointer here puts her team up 65-61. Wayzata cuts it to 66-64 on this 3-pointer by Annika Stewart from the top of the key. In the final seconds, Wayzata has a chance to tie, but Braun's shot is in and out, and Hopkins gets the rebound. The Royals win round 1 against Wayzata 69-66 behind 43 points by Beckers.
Obviously, we're undefeated, and Wayzata was undefeated coming in. We're the number 1 team, they're the number 2 team. There was a lot of talk coming in before the game, and we had 3 snow days before this, so we weren't really prepared as well as we could have been. So this game was big for us. Our coaches were a little nervous, but as players, it's our job to come out and show out for our coaches and make them look good.
Wayzata has kept Hopkins from getting to state in boys basketball in each of the past 2 years, winning back-to-back Section 6 4A title games over the Royals. Friday night, these two rivals met for the first time this season. They'll meet again in a couple of weeks at Wayzata. Like a lot of teams, Wayzata has trouble stopping Hopkins' Zeke Najee. The 6'11 senior scores his team's first 8 points. Johnny Bennigan drives to the basket here and scores and draws a foul to give the Trojans a 2-point lead. He leads Wayzata with 21 points. Wayzata in transition here, and it ends in a layup for Luke Paulson. Trojans lead 19-14. Paulson nets 16 for the game. The Trojans shoot the ball well in the first half. Bennigan dials up a 3-ball to give Wayzata a 10-point lead at 33-23. They're up 6 at halftime, 43-37. Right out of the gate to begin the second half, the Royals go back inside, defeating Najee. 2 more for the big man here. He finishes with 41 points. Watch this play for Wayzata. Paulson grabs the steal and sets up freshman Camden Heidi for the huge jam. Heidi with 20 points in the game. But the Royals make enough stops on D in the second half to get more offensively. Jalen Deering with a couple of big hoops midway through the half. Wayzata down 5 just over a minute to go. Heidi's 3 try spins around and out. Dane Zimmer rebounds and outlets to Najee, who finishes with a monster jam. That puts Hopkins up 7. They go on to score a big late conference win over Wayzata, 90-80.
It's big. I mean, they beat us 2 times in a row in the section finals, and we came out slow, but you know what? We stuck with it. We knew that we had to stop the dribble penetration because they were getting a lot of drives and for threes. And so once we started playing good defense, we started to get them.
The Wayzata girls meet Park Center in a great non-conference matchup later this week. The Pirates continue to roll in the Northwest Suburban West. The Pirates hosted Champlin Park in an NWSC crossover game. Adelia McKenzie helps Park Center start strong. She jab steps and then nails a step-back 3 on her way to a big game at 7-0 Pirates. Champlin Park, though, battles back. Maya DuBose gets a steal, and she turns on the speed the other way, racing in for the layup, and a 12-11 lead for the Rebels. Chloe Sink delivers a nice pass inside to Tanae Griffin for the layup for Park Center. She scores 11 for the Pirates. They go up 21-12. Kayla Cox drives and then dishes to Griffin for a 3 to cap a 19-0 run for Park Center as they lead 30-12. It's 32-15 Park Center at the half. They keep it going in the second. McKenzie to Aaliyah Ragulin for the layup and a 38-17 lead. And McKenzie jumps into the passing lane for the steal and layup. She scores 31 as Park Center wins 67-46. They face Maple Grove Thursday and Wayzata Friday.
In boys hockey, Wayzata and Edina met for the first time this season last week. This one at Braemar Ice Arena. Highlights from this game between the Hornets and the Trojans. Less than a minute in, Joe Matthews, the Luke Manet, he rips the shot for a goal in the 1-0 Trojans lead. But the Hornets go on a 3-goal run. Mason Nevers with a redirect and it's a 2-1 lead. Just 16 seconds later, Jet Jungles lasers the goal for a 3-1 Edina lead. Third period, Wayzata draws even. Carson Peters' shot finds it into the Hornets net here, and it's 3-all. 11 seconds later, Edina takes the lead back. Nevers scoring again. And then Liam Malmquist will get out on a shorthanded breakaway for the Hornets. And he scores as Edina goes on to win 6-4. These teams will play again in Plymouth on February 16th.
Champlain Park entered Saturday tied for first in the Northwest Suburban Conference's West Division in boys hockey. The Armstrong Cooper Wings hoping to knock off the Rebels and some great goaltending. Armstrong Cooper's Drew Ide in on a breakaway, but he is denied by Brennan Boynton. At the other end, Colin Spellman takes his turn, stopping Aiden Grant on the breakaway and also stopping a dangerous rebound try, and it's scoreless after one period. In the second, a 2-on-1 for the Rebels, and Jack Carges zips the shot high on the stick side to beat Spellman for a 1-0 Champlain Park lead. Just after a Rebels penalty expires, Joe Campion puts a shot on goal. Ben Anderson buries the rebound. Armstrong Cooper ties at 1-1. Just over a minute later on a 5-on-3, Jonah Jangala's shot is blocked, but they whack at the rebound, and Jack Campion knocks it in to give the Wings the lead, 2-1. In the third, Matt Campion on the rush. His pass is blocked, but it comes back to him, and he scores on the wraparound. Armstrong Cooper wins it 3-1 to knock the Rebels out of first in the NWSC West.
The area's top two gymnastics teams will compete against each other in the Section 5 AA meet on February 14th. First, Maple Grove and Champlain Park met in a key Northwest Suburban Conference meet last week. The winner would have a leg up on winning the conference title. Maple Grove's Sasha Thompson with a strong vault for the Crimson scores a 9.575. One of three Crimson girls to score 9.35 or higher. The vault champion, though, Champlain Park's Cheney New, two-time defending state all-around champion, scored a 9.85 for that vault. Maple Grove's Nadia Abed finished second in the all-around and in two events, including the uneven bars, where she lands with a score of 9.325 on a good night for the Crimson team. Maple Grove took three of the top four spots in the balance beam. Kara Poling wins it with a score of 9.325. Crimson's score a little bit higher than the Rebels in three of the four events. New wins the all-around in the four exercise here, scoring a 9.625, but it's Maple Grove winning the meet with a score of 145.4 to 144 for Champlain Park. Each team has one conference meet remaining this week. Saturday, though, at the 10-team Breck Luau Invitational is Champlain Park coming out on top with a team score of 145.3. Maple Grove was second at 143.9. Lake Conference champion Edina finished third, just ahead of Pine Island. Wayzata was fifth with a team score of 139.3, while host Breck finished sixth. Champlain Park's Cheney New won the vault, bars, floor, and the all-around, and Maple Grove's Nadia Abed won the balance beam. That's some good gymnastics Saturday and at that conference meet last week at Maple Grove as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see those teams go head-to-head once again in that section meet. And also, speaking of Champlain Park, congratulations to former Rebel Ramon Humber, a Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. Straight ahead on Sports Jam, Nordic skiing highlights, plus some good matchups in girls hockey.
Last week's weather played havoc with schedules for local skiers.
That's right, conference meets, a lot of them were shifted around, some of them even canceled. Will Ahmed of Armstrong starts in second place in the boys' classic pursuit race at the Northwest Suburban Conference meet. And Ahmed races well, passing Joe Lynch of Spring Lake Park to take first place on a great day for Armstrong skiing. After Lynch finishes second, it's Maple Grove's C.J. Young edging Roger Anderson of Armstrong for third. Armstrong takes 5 of the top 12 places to win as a team. Lucy Anderson of Armstrong starts first in the girls' pursuit. She's having a great season, and Anderson cruises to the win by nearly a minute. Her teammate May Barnes is second, with Sarah Olson of Blaine placing third. And here's what the two race winners had to say.
The skate part was rough. Not training for like a day or two and then coming back for a race was rough. But after that, classic race sunk in, dig deep, and got it.
Yeah, it was a really fun one. It was kind of a slow course, but we did really well, so I'm glad about that.
As we check the team results, starting with the girls, Armstrong rolls to the win, 40 points ahead of Andover. Maple Grove is third, Champlain Park sixth, Osseo 10th, and Park Center 12th. Armstrong wins the boys' title well ahead of Elk River. Maple Grove is third and Champlain Park fourth, with Osseo 10th and Park Center 12th. Watch for Section 5 and 6 highlights on our daily CCX newscasts and also next week on Sports Jam.
It was a good test for two of the best girls hockey teams from the area. Breck and Maple Grove met in a late regular season game at the Maple Grove Community Center. Breck strikes quickly in this one. First shift of the game, and after the initial shot is stopped, Olivia Mobley scores on the rebound for Breck, and they get on the board just 27 seconds into the game. Late first period, Jenna Tim shoots from the point. Number 10, Manna McMahon with the tip in on the shot. Teams are tied 1-1 after one. Second period, Maple Grove's Mavis Sachs skates into the Mustangs' end. She shoots and scores. It's her first goal of the season and gives the Crimson a 2-1 lead. Same score in the third period. Maple Grove's Lauren Stensley picks up the puck just inside the Breck line and goes hard in the net and scores. That one makes it 3-1 Grove. Maple Grove goes on to win it 3-2. A nice non-conference win for the Crimson.
It means a lot for us. It's towards the end of the season, towards sections, and we want to get ready. And it was a really big win to come off of, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
The Champlain Park Coon Rapids girls had already clinched the Northwest Suburban Conference West Division title heading into their Saturday game. Jeremy Lewis and his Osseo Park Center team tied CPCR in the team's first meeting. Champlain Park Coon Rapids strikes on a power play as Haley Williams scores on the rebound just under 5 minutes into the game. Goals are hard to come by in this one. Ahead to the third, Laura Denchfield fights through a stick check and then buries the shot as the Stars tie it up 1-1. It looks like we might have overtime, but in the final minute, Champlain Park Coon Rapids regains the lead as Abby Ness pushes the rebound over the goal line. CPCR wins a tight one, 2-1. And the girls hockey playoffs get started later this week. Here's a look at Section 6AA. It's a very tough section with Blake seeded first, Edina second, and Wayzata third. All three of those teams are ranked in the top 6 in Class AA. Benilde St. Margaret's is seeded fourth among the other local teams. Osseo Park Center is 6th, Hopkins Park 7th, and Armstrong Cooper 9th. Thursday night, Armstrong Cooper faces off with Minnehaha Academy. The winner gets to face Blake in the tournament quarterfinals at noon Saturday. That's followed by Cretin versus Benilde, OPC against Wayzata, and Hopkins Park meeting Edina in the final game. All games in this tournament are at Parade Ice Garden. Teams in Section 5AA are seeding for their tournament after this taping of Sports Jam. Maple Grove and Champlain Park Coon Rapids are the top local teams in that section. Breck is the top seed in the 6-team Section 5A girls tournament. The Mustangs are the defending state Class A champions. Well, section tournaments aren't far away for local wrestling teams too. Now's the time to be in peak condition. Maple Grove hosted Delano in a dual meet. At 1:20, Dylan Schultz of Maple Grove with a fireman's carry scores 2 on his way to an 8-2 win over Aiden Quast. The marquee match is at 1:45. Maple Grove's Gavin Peterson sprawls to avoid the single-leg shot by Tanner Krales and eventually gets a takedown on the way to a 7-3 win in a battle of ranked wrestlers. At 195, Evan Hall of Maple Grove continues his strong season. He gets Easton Beniak in trouble, and Hall gets the pin for the Crimson. But overall, it's Delano's night. Edward Hages gets a pin against Weston Doubler in the 220-pound match. Delano takes this one 46-24. And we will hear from Crimson standout Evan Hall coming up in just a few minutes. Up next in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet a talented point guard for the Wayzata girls basketball team. Despite their first loss, the Wayzata girls basketball team is having its best regular season ever. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a veteran point guard who has done a lot of good things on and off the court. She might be the best player who's averaging just 5 points per game in the state.
Knocked away now. Schrader has Smiley with her, and Smiley will get an easy two.
Wayzata's fifth-year starter Mimi Schrader is all about setting up her teammates.
Growing up, I've always been a pass-first point guard, sometimes to a fault, but that's just kind of how I've played my game, and I like seeing my teammates succeed just as much as myself, so that's just kind of how I've always played the game.
Not surprisingly, that makes Mimi a popular teammate, but it goes way beyond her fondness for sharing the ball.
She's the best. She, on the court, she's such a leader. She's kind of, been a captain for the last couple of years, so she really brings the team together. And obviously she's an amazing point guard, but then also off the court, she volunteers with the younger teams and is super great there. And I think everyone just really looks up to Mimi.
She's been a great help to me, especially because coming in as a freshman, I don't really know. A lot of people don't know the plays, don't know anything. She's kind of just been like a mentor to me. She's been there for me whenever I needed it, whether it's basketball or school or anything in between. She's been a really good teammate in person to me, and I really appreciate her. I know we'll miss her a ton next year.
Schrader's certainly someone her teammates look up to, and she's okay with that.
I would hope I'm a role model. I mean, I kind of live my life through my actions and hope that people just see what I'm doing and maybe try to do something like that or aspire to be like that. So, it would be cool if people called me their role model. I don't know if they do.
It's been a very good season for Schrader and the Trojans. She's not ready to call it a great season just yet.
It's been a very fun start. Our scores have been, our record is pretty good, but it's just been really fun. I'm just trying to embrace the senior year and, go out on a high note.
Schrader able to get the steal. Next year, Mimi will continue her basketball career at the U.S. Naval Academy.
I have always lived my life in service, and I think that this is the ultimate way of service. The Naval Academy is a place to grow in leadership, discipline, academics, and also athletics. And so I'm really hoping to grow there, and I just think that it's a place that it's not describable. When I went there, I fell in love with it, and I'm so excited to go there.
Mimi Schrader's made headlines and left a big impression on the Wayzata girls basketball program. Maybe even more impressive, though, is the mark she's left on her school.
I started a unified club called Club Osseo at this school, which is composed of both special education and general education students, and I would say that is the biggest thing that I hope to leave at this school, just because I've seen so many people's lives change from just those small interactions of hanging out on the weekends and going to movies, going to holiday parties, and so I've seen our school atmosphere change. Kids who used to be sitting by themselves in the lunchroom are now eating with their new friends, and so I think that's something that I really hold close to my heart, and I hope that that will continue to grow even after I graduate.
She will be one of the very best to play here as a guard in our program, but what she's done for this school is even more amazing. She's choosing a service academy for a reason. That's what she's about. If you ask, kids from every walk of life in this school, if they know Mimi, they'll say yes. And what she'll do to make someone's day, what she'll do to pick somebody up, she is a leader through and through, and she leads through example. She leads through service. She's a remarkable young lady.
If we have the ball, they're not.
Mimi and the Trojans bounce back from that loss to Hopkins to crush Lakeville North on Saturday. They play Hopkins again February 22nd. John talks with the area's top football player from last fall as he makes his college choice up next.
The next National Letter of Intent Signing Day is this Wednesday, taking place at schools around the state and around the metro, including at Maple Grove, where this young man, senior Evan Hall, will sign with Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois, to play Big Ten football starting next year. Congratulations, first of all. What a great school, and tell me about what went into your decision.
Well, thank you so much for that. But You know, honestly, it was a no-brainer for me. You know, with the combination of academics and athletics, being, you know, an academic school that's up there with the Ivy Leagues, and, you know, competing in the Big Ten, and just this last season, competing in the Big Ten championship. You know, what better place to be, honestly. Most of my interest came from the 1AA schools, like the FCS in the area. We're talking like NDSU, SCSU, UNI. Maybe just a few weeks ago was when I got my first Power 5 offer from K-State. So, and then I think that's what kind of got the ball rolling with the other Power 5 schools.
How excited are you to think about yourself playing in the Big Ten Conference?
It's awesome. I'm super ecstatic. You know, I've been watching Big Ten football since I was a little kid. You know, coming home from school after practice every day, just turning on Big Ten Network and watching the Indianas, the Iowas, the Minnesotas, the Illinois, and now we got the Northwestern. So I'm super excited.
For you, what do you think you need to do, or what is the coaching staff told you, hey, here's what you can work on between now and when you come to campus next summer?
That was one of my first questions, honestly. You know, the weight is something that I don't really got to worry about right now, but what I really need to work on is my feet, my change of direction. Those are two really big things that I'm going to be working on, and then just keep the same speed that I've been having. So, you know, keeping track in the schedule has been a must.
Football is your college sport, but how important was it for you as a senior to continue with your other high school sports? You got wrestling here tonight. You're going to do track and field again in the spring. Very important.
And, you know, I talked to Coach Fitz about it, and he said, you know, it's about creating a legacy and, you know, finishing out all those sports the way you want to, and finishing all those things strong, especially, you know, with the sports and also on the academic side. You know, there's no senior slide on this guy.
Tell me about wrestling. How has the season gone for you so far, and what's your goal for this year?
Well, my goal is to compete for a state championship at the 195 class. You know, I'm 19-2 so far, ranked 6th in the state, I believe, by the guillotine. So honestly, I just day in and day out staying focused and, you know, going towards my goals every day.
What will you take with you to Northwestern that you'll remember about your days here at Maple Grove?
The family for sure, and the brotherhood that I got here, and that I'll take with me, because I'm not going to forget the guys that I grew up with, that I play with on Friday nights.
Good luck with the Wildcats.
Thank you so much.
All right, Evan Hull, the senior for Maple Grove High School. Again, he'll be one of the athletes that will be signing this coming Wednesday, National Letter of Intent Signing Day throughout the country. We'll take a break and wrap up Sports Jam in a moment. First, here's a look at our plays of the week.
And a reminder of our new feature here on Sports Jam. It's our CCX Sports Play of the Week. We'll have 4 new plays each week to vote on. Go to our website at ccxmedia.org and go to the Play of the Week page under the Sports tab and vote for your favorite play. Next week, we'll reveal this week's winner and have 4 new plays to watch. And here is last week's winner in the Champlain Park boys hockey win over St. Michael Albertville. Rylan Anderson scores on the breakaway with the assist to Robbie Lawler, beating the Rebels 6-3 win over the Knights. Remember to go to our website and vote for this week's plays. We'll announce the next winner on our February 11th show. And that will do it for this week's Sports Jam. A busy time of year coming up here, and we'll have all of the highlights coming up for you next week.